Somebody once told me, it was one of my policy professors, I think. It's like this idea of difference is what really encourages learning, and diversity is difference. We all came here to learn, not just like our respective majors, but like about ourselves, about the world around us. And it's that diversity that we see on campus that encourages that learning.
You're listening to Speaking of Language, a podcast recorded at the Language Resource Center at Cornell University. Each week, we explore a topic related to language pedagogy and language acquisition. This week on Speaking of Language,
Cornell students from the executive board of Alana share the many ways their student organization supports intercultural programming on campus.
Welcome to a new episode of Speaking of Language. I'm Angelica Kramer, the director of the Language Resource Center at Cornell University.
And I'm Sam Lupowitz, the LRC's media manager. Today, we welcome 3 Cornell students to the studio. Leslie, Catherine, and Molly are on the e-board of the student organization Alana.
We look forward to hearing all about this intercultural programming board and the work they support on campus.
Welcome to Speaking of Language, Leslie, Catherine, and Molly.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, hi. We're so excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting Alana. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we always like to start out each episode by learning a little bit more about our guests. So I would invite each of you to tell us a little bit more about your background, how you ended up at Cornell, what you do here, and what your path with languages may have looked like. Who would like to get started?
I can go first. Obviously, I'm Leslie. I currently serve as the public relations chair for the Alana Intercultural Programming Board. I'm a sophomore, and this is a role I've served in since my freshman fall. So it's been quite some time now. But I've really, truly enjoyed the time I've spent with Alana. We're all like family, I like to believe. But yes, I'm a sophomore. I'm studying public policy in the Brooks School here at Cornell. Mm-hmm. I'm originally from Maryland, the Eastern Shore of Maryland, very rural, not at all the city, very much like Ithaca, I'd say, if anything. But yes, I serve as public relations chair for Alana, and next year I'll be stepping into a co-president role.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
And in terms of languages, what does my journey look like? I grew up in a immigrant household. My parents are both from Mexico, so I grew up hearing Spanish mostly, which was really, I think, weird at times because, when I went to high school, I grew up in a really white dominated community where English was the majority language. So it was a lot of sometimes tension, I feel, with my parents really wanted me to know Spanish, but it's I only really spoke it at home. I didn't really speak it with my friends. But since coming to Cornell, I feel like my relationship with the Spanish language has gotten a lot better. There's a very strong Latino, Hispanic community on campus. And I definitely have gotten way more comfortable with accepting that part of myself and being it's really cool that I know 2 languages. Not everybody has that privilege.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think a part of that is just my involvement with Alana too, just the supportive community we all have in our varying backgrounds.
Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Molly, and I am a junior, and I am in Alana. I serve as the VP of External Affairs currently. And I mentioned I'm a junior, and I'm a chemistry major, and on a pre-law track.
Wow.
So a little bit weird turn there.
It's all good.
And in terms of my relationship with language, I think like Leslie, I'm also bilingual, but it's a little bit different. It's flipped. So I went to high school in Texas, Houston, suburb. But I actually, before, 2 weeks before high school started, up until then, I lived in Taiwan.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up speaking Chinese. But because my dad is American, he would exclusively only talk to me in English.
Nice, yeah.
So I think I was confused about what my parents were saying for the majority of my childhood. I was behind in school, in elementary school. I was behind in my Chinese classes. I was behind in my English classes. And I didn't have my language together until I think 3rd or 4th grade. And then like I think I could do both like okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I'm sure more than okay.
yeah, but good part is I get to skip the language requirement here, which is really lovely. I've heard some of the classes like are really scary. But,
Well, yeah.
or
we
very
don't
like
think so.
or very interesting. I think also. Yeah, I did want to like take a language class without the pressure of like the requirement here.
Right.
And maybe I will next year. I think
Oh,
I
I think
will.
you should.
Yes.
Oh, maybe at the end of this episode, we will have you convinced.
Hi, I'm Catherine. First, I just want to jump in and say I am currently taking a language class here, so spoiler. But yeah, I'm Catherine. I'm a freshman, and I've been with Alana since my freshman fall, which is not as
Wow.
impactful as
Yeah.
Leslie's statement. But yeah, I serve as the co-graphics chair, so I create lots of graphics for the social media, all the outreach. I'm from New York City, so I feel like I've been surrounded by lots of languages and multiculturalism my whole life, but it's definitely nice to recreate some of that here with Alana. I feel like all of us have such different backgrounds, and I'm like super passionate about language. I'm studying cognitive science and information science. And minoring in music. But anyways, within
Wow.
cognitive science specifically, I am really interested in studying like language science within that. Like I think the way we think with different languages is really cool, like how speaking multiple languages like impacts the way you view different things. I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting off track.
No.
With languages, like I grew up in a very like mixed dialect household. My mom is Malaysian, but she never taught me Malay because she spoke to me in Cantonese because she just thought that was more of a useful thing for in New York City specifically. And my dad is Chinese, but he grew up specifically in Shanghai, so he spoke to me in Shanghainese. But then my parents spoke to each other in Mandarin. So these are all
Wow.
different
Yeah.
dialects of Mandarin essentially, but
Right.
they're all kind of related. So I'm just kind of like different levels of fluency with all of them. And I can like speak and understand all of them. But now I'm taking like Chinese here at Cornell for arts and science credit requirement, like Molly said. And I can definitely attest it is like a lot of work, but it's really like nice to learn it in like a formal setting because I feel like, most of the language I grew up speaking at home is more like informal or like
Right.
I'm really good at ordering food at a restaurant, but not necessarily like writing an essay in the language. So yeah, I also took Spanish for like 6 years in high school, but now I feel like I've lost a lot of that. So yeah, I just think it's super cool and it's like such a like big part of I think who a lot of people are. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's lovely.
All right. Well, it's so lovely to meet the three of you and to have you here. So let's get into it. And why don't you tell us what is Alana? What do you do? Who are all of you? And is it an acronym for our listeners who may not know?
No, yeah, of course, I can start off with this question. So, Alana, the Intercultural Program Board, we're a byline funded organization, which is just a very fancy way of saying that, like, that student activity fee we all pay, a portion of that comes to us. So, we're primarily a funding board, meaning that all the cultural clubs on campus, the organizations within the Black community, the Hispanic community, the Asian community, Southeast Asian community, we help provide them with funding to carry out their programming throughout the year. But we also do a lot of internal programming. So we try to do socials every month for the community. But our big thing every year is our annual Culture Fest, which is coming up this April, I believe. And so we're in the midst of planning that. And it's very stressful. And it's going to be very much a lot of fun. But yeah, and Alana technically, there's a funny story behind that. Alana technically it is an acronym, but I don't think we officially stand by the acronym anymore. Very long-winded story. I think it's before my time.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we're just Alana. We have our 5 main umbrella organizations: the Black Students United, the Latino Student Association, the Southeast Asian Council,
Capsu.
Cornell Asian Pacific Student Union. And NISAC, Native American Indigenous Students at Cornell. And then they each respectively have a lot of orgs under them. So
Gotcha.
it's very much like a very complicated tree in a way.
But we're at the very top.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so you have all the power.
I guess we could say that, but I don't know. We're all a very big community. Like everyone on the e-board, we're all very much heavily involved with like the respective umbrella orgs. We all have really strong ties, and we always make sure to like listen to our community. It's like that's kind of the basis of what we do.
That's awesome. How did each of you decide to join the board? Why did you decide? And especially right off the bat in your freshman year, right?
I guess directed at me. Hi. Yeah, I think I came joining the Chinese Student Association my first fall, but I sort of felt like that was more of like a social club, which was really great, getting to meet a lot of people of the same background as me, but not necessarily like really making an impact or doing anything towards like promoting like culture or like I don't know. I just didn't personally feel connected with that. So I tried the other route. I tried joining the Malaysian Student Association, but there I sort of I think a lot of them are more like I just also felt like I didn't fit in as much, which of course is nothing against like both of those clubs
of course not.
respectively. I think it was just like I wanted to find like a space that was more right for me. And I really liked Alana because I felt like it was nice to meet a lot of people with like different backgrounds, but still kind of like that same like wanting to do something about like culture and like promoting multiculturalism outside of just like sort of all hanging out. Yeah.
Sure. Molly, what about you?
Yes, I got really excited when you asked that question because I also did not like join like as early as Leslie, even though I'm a junior. I joined also same time as Catherine. I joined last fall, and it was actually because the semester before that, so my sophomore spring, I live in a co-op, 302 Way. It's like one of the co-ops on campus, and our house had a house event at the end of last spring where we all went to Culture Fest together, and I had such a good time, and it was just the greatest event ever, I think, that I had attended on campus up until that point. And I felt really inspired by like all the performances that I saw, and then like, and I really liked just like all the tabling that the different cultural organizations under Alana had presented at the event, and then also the food and just the music and the entire like atmosphere that that event created was just like very it like impacted me really strongly. And I was already like in TASA, which is the Taiwanese American Student Association. I wasn't like very heavily involved, but I did go to like all the events that they had, and also some of the events that CAPSU did. And I think that like it like that like kind of like wrapped all of those experiences up together and made me realize that I really do want to like be part of an organization that supported this wonderful cause and helped culture, you know, flourish on this campus. Yes. So that's why I applied at the beginning of last semester. Yes.
Great.
It's really just the emphasis, I think, on multiculturalism. Like I said earlier, I come from it was a predominantly white community I grew up in. And the people of color that I did grow up with, it was all just other Latinos and Hispanics. But when I came to Cornell, I was like, oh my God, there's so much more that I just didn't know anything about. And I was really looking for a space to sort of explore that and kind of figure out, what am I missing out on? It's because we all have these shared experiences that I didn't even know about. And so that's really why I joined Alana. The presidents at the time were very welcoming to this idea of wanting to learn more about campus and just the multicultural community on campus. And it's something that I'm so glad that I joined. I've been to so many different things for our different sub-orgs I don't think I would have normally gone to because it was just outside of my comfort zone. It was like outside of the things I was familiar with. Like last semester with our co-presidents, we went to the mock shadi that our South Asian Council throws every year, which from my understanding is like a fake wedding, from what I understand.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But it was so much fun. It was a part of like Southeast Asian culture I didn't even know existed, but I'm so glad that I went. And I loved seeing the similarities between like them and Latinos and like I don't know. I love seeing the connections and being like, oh my God, we're all so different. But at the end of the day, we're all so similar.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, that's a great seg into our next question, which is something that you've all been touching on a little bit already. Why is diversity so important on a university campus?
Somebody once told me, it was one of my policy professors, I think. It's like this idea of difference is what really encourages learning, and diversity is difference. And it's like we're on a college campus to do, maybe the idea of college some people can debate on, but I truly believe it's like we all came here to learn, not just like our respective majors, but like about ourselves, about the world around us. And it's that diversity that we see on campus that encourages that learning, interacting with people who maybe aren't from the same background as you and being open to that and being open to, say out loud, like, I didn't know that was a thing, or like, I'm happy that you taught me this, I think is really just the crux of like coming and being able to come to a school like Cornell, where there's just such a large multicultural community, especially a multicultural community that's very open to like members outside of the community coming to their events. I think is a big thing within our umbrella orgs. Our events are always open to everyone on campus. You don't exactly have to be a part of like the respective community or culture to attend. So I think that really is why diversity matters so much. Especially just everything going on. I think it's very important to just be accepting of the fact that, like, yes, we're all college students. We don't all know everything, but that's okay. It's like, that's why we're here, and we're here to learn from each other. I've learned so much from everyone at Alana and our sub-orgs.
I second that. I think diversity also helps us be more like empathetic towards meeting new people and just sort of finding like where you can relate, finding where, oh, that's like interesting. Like Leslie said, I never would have known that. And I think by having a diverse student body, you actually are able to learn more about yourself through that way. Like what parts of your culture you do like find yourself more gravitated towards, that sort of thing. And I think like it is super important to be able to interact with people who are different from you. And I think a huge part of college is that everyone does have like a different story, a different background. And it's like, why would you not want to learn about everyone around you? Like, I feel everyone has such a different relationship with their culture. For some people, it's like a huge part of who they are. For some people, it's still there, but maybe it's not as big of who they are now. And yeah, I just think it's interesting.
Yeah, and like kind of to add on about this idea of like you learn a lot more about like your relationship with your own culture too. Like I think there's a lot of diversity here just within like the different communities itself. Like, I come from a Latino background, but before coming to Cornell, I never really explored the more so social justice, political aspect of that. And since I came to campus and I met Latinos from very different backgrounds, from Chicago, from LA, New York City. That's something that I became gradually just more involved with because I was like, this matters a lot to me. And I don't know if I would have had the same experience if I wasn't willing to like, say, I don't have much experience with this, but I want to learn more. I want to become more involved. So, like, for example, I'm involved with Metro, which is a Latino activist organization on campus. And they do a lot of work surrounding, like, immigration and farm workers and just, like, social justice issues surrounding Latino communities. But it's, like, that idea. It's, like, that wasn't really an aspect of my identity I was in tune with until, I came here to Cornell and met people who, for them, that was a huge aspect of their identity.
So in all the work that you do as part of Alana and with all your student organizations, how do you foster a feeling of belonging among the students, among the various student orgs and the broader campus community?
I think that's a great question, especially everything that's been going on. And I think what we've really been focusing on this semester and last semester is just making sure we're listening to our sub-orgs. Because that's a huge difference from what Alana looked like maybe like when I first joined Alana, we were very much just like a programming board. Like they would contact us for money and we would give them money. That's kind of all we did. But at some point we realized we're meant to be representative of like a multicultural community on campus and their needs, and be able to advocate for them. But we're not really doing that. And so that's a big transition that started to happen this year, making sure that we're,
Cool.
listening to our communities and actively asking them, what do you need from us? What can Alana do to support you guys as cultural organizations on campus? And that was a big thing last semester when we went through our byline funding process. I think it was on the Daily Sun. And that was a whole story in and of itself. But the crux of it was that we just made sure we kept in contact with our communities. And we asked them, okay, what do you want us to do given what's happening? Like, what matters to you the most? So I think that's really the big part of it. And just also making sure we're welcoming to everyone. Like when we throw our socials every month, we always emphasize it's like please come, even if it's like your first time ever, or if you're not even involved with any of the sub-orgs. We truly do not care. We encourage you even more to come, because it's like it's for everyone. It's like we want to meet you. We want you to know that we're here to support you.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that with what Leslie said about just being there for the sub-orgs. I think it also goes the opposite way. So like when we were going through like the whole byline situation, I think that what made it slightly easier to navigate for the organization was also that because the sub-orgs vocalized that they were also here to support us. So I think like the support and like just community goes both ways. Like we're there for them, and then we like provide, like we listen to what they want, what they need, and we try to support their messages. And the same way goes for like them supporting us when we go through like hard times. So yes.
Awesome. You mentioned that your annual Culture Fest is coming up later this spring. Anything else you'd like to share with us about that? And are there any other events coming up that you'd like to plug?
No, yes, our annual Culture Fest it's like the thing we work towards every year. Like as soon as we finish planning Culture Fest, it's like we start planning for the next year almost.
Yeah.
Only 364 more days until the next Culture Fest. Yeah.
So it's very much a process, but I love it. But yeah, so our Interculture Fest is happening this April, I believe, on the 10th. But yes, it's basically just a community celebration. We're highlighting our sub-orgs and just the people within the sub-orgs. So we do a lot of live performances. Groups will come and table, hand out food. We always have a photo booth, which I think everyone's always a fan of. And catering, and it's just loads of fun. It truly is an experience. When I helped plan it last year, but I also was just walking around last year and seeing everything happening. It's just really an experience to be able to walk around and see everybody come together and interact with each other. But yeah, that's Culture Fest. A lot of live performances. It's happening April 10th, I believe, in Willard Straight Hall.
Okay.
Lots of live performances. I'm pretty sure it might be Taste of Thai catering, but
nice.
don't hold me true to that. We'll see. the rumor is it's gonna be Taste of Thai.
There you go.
But yeah, and in terms of other events happening with Alana, we always try to do monthly socials. And people can always stay up to date with that on our Instagram, Alana Intercultural. We always make sure to post our flyers, post updates. We always try to make sure to highlight the events of our sub-orgs on our Instagram. We also send out a bi-weekly newsletter just highlighting those same events, resources on campus. And you can subscribe to that newsletter by joining our campus groups. So yeah, our monthly social, I believe, is in 2 weeks. But we try to do that every month. And it will be a movie night. We'll be doing a screening of a movie. But as for right now, I think Culture Fest is just the big thing. We highly encourage everyone to come. It's always a lot of fun to just see everyone perform, eat some good food, get some good prizes. There's going to be a raffle.
Nice. And we will also make sure to link to your Instagram and your campus group in our show notes so people can read all about everything and stay up to date. So you just mentioned everybody is always welcome to attend anything and everything, and people can stay up to date on campus groups and Instagram. If anybody is interested in joining the e-board, what's the process for that?
Yeah, so we're currently recruiting. We're recruiting an underclassman representative, a co-PR chair, and a community relations chair. And this is a rolling deadline, so anytime this semester, anyone can submit, except the underclassman representative should be a current freshman, just so they can stand as a representative for first and second year students. The co-PR chair would sort of work in with the social media, promoting all the suborgs and managing the biweekly newsletter. And then the community relations chair would sort of work with all the other external campus partners and just promote Alana's external array.
Great.
All right. Well, it's been lovely to get to speak with the three of you, to hear all about all the cool things that Alana is doing on campus. But before we sign off, we'd like to ask each of you for a word in a language you love, are learning, maybe want to learn, that makes you feel inspired. What's that word for each of you?
Okay, mine's just kind of cheating, so it's technically 2 words. That's
okay.
Something that comes to mind is the phrase in Spanish, échale ganas, which is, I don't know if there's an exact translation for it, but it's just give it your all. It's what my mom says to me when I call her after I've had a long day. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And she was like, yeah, échale ganas. Just keep going. Don't give up. And it just comes to me a lot. Yeah.
That's lovely.
It's 2 characters, so not really one word, so more like a phrase, is 찬유. It's it means participate. And I think that's what I felt being in the organization is I feel being part of something and participating and just showing up is really important. So that's the phrase
Beautiful.
I chose.
Perfect.
It's not really a different language, but I've been really my New Year's resolution has been to live with more whimsy. I just love the word whimsy.
Whimsy is a great word. It's a great choice, yeah.
And yeah, how I'm translating that is just do things that I love, do it for the plot, do things that make me happy, and yeah, I also love the word, just how it sounds and all of those things.
It sounds whimsical.
Yeah.
Whimsy sounds whimsy.
Yeah. And I was sort of interpreting in a different language. I am a composer and I play piano as well.
Very
and
cool.
I love when each sheet of music has a descriptor of what the music is supposed to sound like. And my favorite is when the descriptor says whimsy. So it was you're supposed to bring a sense of whimsy into the sound and to your life. Yeah.
Wonderful. This is great. Well, it's been so great to hear all about Alana, the important work that you all do, that your student orgs as well do on campus here to bring everybody together and to celebrate the wonderful diversity that we find on this campus. Thank you so much for speaking of language with us today, Catherine, Molly, and Leslie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tune in next week to hear from more of our amazing Cornell students.
Megan Yap and Simon Ilinchev will talk about the language learning app Lingo Fable they are developing to help advance fluency through reading stories.
Until then,
Auf Wiederhören!
The Language Resource Center is located on the ground floor of Stimson Hall on Cornell's main campus in Ithaca, New York. Check us out on the web at lrc.cornell.edu.
and follow Cornell LRC on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky.
Speaking of Language is produced by Angelika Kramer and Sam Lupowitz.
Recorded by Sam Lupowitz.
Original music by Sam Lupowitz, Dan Gable, and Joe Gibson.
Thanks also to the College of Arts and Sciences at Cornell University.
As a reminder, the ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast do not reflect those of the College of Arts and Sciences or any other official entity of Cornell University.
We thank our listeners, and do stay tuned for our next episode.